Hello, Amplify You family. Michelle Abraham here with another Speakers Playhouse live episode for you. I have 4 amazing speakers here with me. Let me introduce them to you. Deborah, introduce yourself. Who are you?
Hi, good morning. I'm Deborah Greenhut, and I'm the author of the best-selling book, The Rational Caregiver. And I offer boot camps for budding caregivers and people who found themselves already in the condition of burnout. Fabulous. It looks like we have Amy. Hi, Amy. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm well. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Amy.
Okay. I'm Amy Spring, and I'm the owner-founder of Wise Transitions. And I help executive women balance and achieve more overall calmness when they're caring for their aging parents.
Awesome. Nice to meet you, Amy. So for being here.
Good morning. My name is Wanda La Russa. I'm a women's positivity speaker and coach, and I help women to improve, enhance, and enrich their mindsets in their everyday lives. And I do that with my positivity workshops.
Awesome. Great to have you here, Wanda. I'm Mary.
Hi, everyone. I'm Mary Gooden. I am a business mentor and publisher. I support purpose-driven entrepreneurs and advancing and elevating their visibility, their impact, and their income through publishing, promoting, and prospering on purpose through my 12-week bundle. And I'm delighted to be here, Michelle. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. So, Mary, let's dive back into you for a second here. Obviously, in your business, we've seen a lot of people want to get bigger and get more visibility, and then there's some things that stop them. What are a couple of things that you've seen that you've had to help your clients overcome? As I'm sure, similar to podcasting.
The power of breakthrough, really, the 2 words hand in hand. We deal with a lot of imposter syndrome. We've been born, things have been assigned and defined to us since birth. And I think one of the biggest elevation points that we find ourselves in, or the highest visibility piece, is once we get through that idea that we are imposters. We all have a unique gift to share. And when we come into collaboration with that, when we come into small groups or intimate groups with others who are also here to create loving and lasting change, it's a lot easier to break through these ideas, because we've all heard it. You don't know how to do that, or the parents thing. You should do this. I was good at it. You're good at it. We've all kind of been guided in this way. And what we find the most now is we want to be who we are. So breaking through imposter syndrome, breaking through to the very core of people, I think, is one of the biggest struggles. And I love to create a space for that because, like I said, every single one of us came here to create a small ripple or a large wave by being who we are and clearing that idea that we're not something. So thanks, Michelle. Great question.
There's so many, I've worked with so many people over the years that feel like they need to be an expert or they have to have a certification in order to be able to share the message, to be validated that it's something that they can make a living sharing. And obviously that's part of imposter syndrome too. And it's great to see that we've helped people kind of break through that. And it's such a great reminder. Well, I'm sure with Empowered Women working, you've seen that as well. What are some things that you've done too for yourself to be able to speak about this topic? Was there some sort of story in your background that was like, I have to share this. This happened to me now. This needs to be part of my story, my message. And you felt like it gave you permission to start speaking about it.
Absolutely. So just remembering my purpose, my passion, and my why. I know that I was blessed with the gift of gab. I was one of those students that the teacher would move my seat around and such, and she would sit in my seat right next to hers, and I still would talk to her because I had something to say. I had a message to convey. And my great-grandmother, she was 104 years old when she passed away in 2014, and she was the most powerful, most positive person that I know. She wouldn't allow me to blame or complain. If they cut my left leg off, she would say, baby, you still have a right leg to stand on. She found a silver lining in every cloud. And so I was just raised with the attitude of positivity. And that's the message that I spread. And I know that I'm empowering women to embrace and give themselves permission to embrace and implement those positive thoughts, because positive mind, positive vibes, and a positive life.
Ooh, I love that. That resonates with my high vibe leader brand. I love it.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that I think we need to remember that it's our message that's going to inspire people, and it's our right and our duty to get up and share that message with the world. Right? We have our voice, we have a message. Amy, what was your message what were a few things that made you say, okay, this is enough of just working in this space. I want to start sharing this message more globally in a bigger way?
I think what changed for me was not only caring for aging family members and trying to juggle my career, but it was also leading the organizations and recognizing that professional women are balancing their careers, their families, and caregiving. And our family dynamic has changed so significantly over the years, where people are not in that central nucleus of within a 10-mile radius anymore, where they're not living within the home. And so I recognize that only from a personal perspective as a caregiver, but I also recognize it as an executive leader myself of how do we support our team? How do we support other caregivers, other executive women, other professionals in that role, and how do they balance? How do they achieve that balance, save time, and still feel empowered to have a career and feel good about supporting and loving their family, but also, take care of themselves?
And I think what's really powerful about your message, Amy, is you've taken something that you personally experienced yourself, and now, we want to share it out with others so they don't have to go through that hard times alone, and knowing that you don't have to be a certified expert to share this message. You just have to have had experience and sharing it from your own personal experiences is so much more valuable than being an expert standing and telling people what you do. And not to just credit any the expertise that everyone does have, but just to show our audience that they're listening that, you don't have to have that stamp of approval. No one has to give you permission to. You just need to find that within yourself and share your experience. Share from your experience if that's what's more powerful.
Right. Well, yeah, a lot of the women that I work with, they find so much joy in assistance and help and community from others who have gone through that journey. Right? It's that experience that bonds us.
Absolutely. Deborah, what was it for you that made you want to get started speaking on stages or how can I your message?
Well, I've always been a teacher or a trainer, but after 3 very different but very challenging family caregiver stints, actually after the first one, I received a health wake-up call that made me start to look at things and think maybe we shouldn't be doing this quite the way we're doing it. It's not meant to be a job that's all absorbing and doesn't give us a chance to live. And I found out that by the time you're in your senior years, you have a 63% chance of dying before the person you're caring for if you allow all this stress to build up and don't give yourself some kind of recovery. So the focus I have is on doing rational caregiving because most of the time it comes from an emotional place. And that only encourages us to do more instead of do it more effectively. So my boot camp and the book that I just published are focused on a framework for making sure that caregivers can reframe their jobs as caregivers so that they still have time for quality of life, because that's what's going to save you in your 60s and 70s. And I've survived after I was 49. I got the wake-up call and found out I had diabetes and hypertension, and I had to do something or I would still be here. So that's my why, and I'm enjoying it.
Awesome. Can you elaborate, Deborah, just on what is it that you want to leave with our audience today if they're still thinking about sharing their message with the world? And then also tell us where to find out more information about it.
Sure. The thing I most want to share is something, my partner's condition was Alzheimer's the last time I was caring for someone. And I was so grateful when his psychiatrist said to me, "You can't do this alone." And I think that's the most profound message any caregiver can receive. So I'd love it if you would give me a call. If you just have something you want to talk about this issue, you can find me on my website, which is deborahgreenhut.com. I'm also on LinkedIn, and I hope you'll stop by Amazon and see what the Rational Caregiver has to offer you. Thank you.
Thanks, Deborah. Okay, Amy, back to you. What is something that you want to share with our audience from today that they're still thinking about sharing their message with the world and they haven't got the courage to do so yet?
I think the important thing I'd like to share with everyone is that we all, again, are a community, no matter if we're around the world, right? We all have that lived experience and we're all loving human beings. And there's somebody out there who's dying and maybe literally dying, waiting to hear your message. And you can make an impact. And to make an impact with one person, kind of like what Mary was saying, really making an impact makes that ripple effect. And that person then would be helping somebody else. So I encourage everyone to do what you find passionate. And for me, I always encourage anyone who's going through this journey, just like Deborah said, don't do it alone. It takes a village. And I do have a formula for caregivers, and I'd be happy to talk about that to help everyone who's going through this journey. And you can contact me at Wise Transitions. It's wise-transitions.com, and just set up a calming caregiver session, and I'd be happy to talk to you.
Love it. Thank you so much, Amy, for sharing. That's wonderful. Wanda, how about you?
What you think about is what you bring about. And if you believe that you have a message to share with other people, then go for it. Absolutely go for it. If you believe it, you can achieve it. My favorite quote is from Gandhi, and he said, the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. So if you have that message, then convey it to the world. Get a good support system, be authentic, and really share that message. And if you would like some tools and some insight that you can to implement, because sometimes we get stuck with those ants. I call those automatic negative thoughts. And when those thoughts come marching in, you need to get rid of them. And I have some practical tools that I can help you to achieve those paths, those positive, affirming thoughts. So you can contact me on my website. My website is my first and last name. It's WandaLaRussa.com. And I would love to work with you to get you those tools to help you convey your message.
I love that. Squashing those ants. Okay, no, wait. Before we want Amy for a second, or before we move on to Mary for a second, Wanda, I want to ask you, I saw that you do chocolate tours.
I do. I most definitely do. So I am a food tour guide here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. The name of the company is Dallas by Chocolate, Dallas Bites and Sights. And they are anywhere between 3 to 4 hour tours. We are on a motor coach, and as we're traveling through the DFW, I tell you about some of the history of Dallas, some of the landmarks. I tell you the great places that we're going to go eat. Our food tours include chocolate tours, taco and margarita tours, walking tours to the Bishop Arts, Deep Ellum, Black History tours, and so much more. So I am available by request. I'm a super duper fun tour guide, and we will have an amazing time. We will be eating, drinking, and being merry through the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
You know, Amplify Family, it just goes to show you that if you have something that you like to do, or if you like chocolate, you can make a business out of it.
Right.
And all it takes is a little bit of courage, and a little bit of inspiration, and there you go. You've got this amazing tour business. Chocolate, smuggles, and margaritas. That's yeah. Mary, what's your advice for our listeners today on how we get started if they're still thinking about it at home?
Well, to follow the positivity queen, and just doing what you said, Michelle, prioritize your comfort. This is the first and single-handed thing that I did when I became an entrepreneur, or I started leaning into my own inner visibility to expand and elevate. Because once I saw myself, by prioritizing my comfort, if I can see me, then my message, my audience, the people that need that nugget of wisdom, they can see me. And that's it, about sharing your message and sharing your story and moving those things out of the way. When you prioritize your comfort, when you see yourself, the world has an opportunity to see you. And that is what I share with all my clients, from singing bowls to yoga to business mentoring to publishing. Go inside, see yourself. Once you can see who you are, you give the world an opportunity to also see you. And that's how we elevate. And you can learn more about these. I have 3 non-negotiable practices that I use in business and life to keep it extraordinary, right? To keep it high vibe. And you can grab that at buzzingwithbrilliance.com, where I share those keys of being intentional with yourself, taking inspired action towards your dream, and illuminating, shining your light and sharing your message with the world. So thank you, Michelle.
I love it. So As you can see, Amplify You family, we have another 4 amazing speakers that are out there sharing their message with the world. They have got the courage and the confidence. And even if they didn't at the beginning, they did it anyways because they found that light inside of them and they're sharing it with the world. And because if, like we like to say at Amplify You, if you're not embarrassed by your first few episodes or messages, you waited too damn long to get them out there. So we just encourage you to just start speaking. And we call podcasting evolving out loud because as the more you share your message, the more you get comfortable with it, the more clarity you get. And then that becomes your guiding light. So thanks for joining us again today on Amplify You. We will see you again next week. Have a great day.